Okay, going to keep this short and sweet, but I have 3 invalid traffic questions for YouTube that creator support won't answer, the YouTube liaison won't answer. Literally nobody from YouTube who can help at all will answer these questions. So these are my 3 invalid traffic questions for YouTube. Number 1 is, what can a YouTube creator do to prevent invalid traffic on our channels when we aren't responsible for it? If there's invalid traffic on our channels and we as creators haven't sent it, I have never, ever, ever participated in invalid traffic, partnered with untrusted third parties, or done anything to try to manipulate my Google AdSense earnings. But for some reason, bringing us into question number 2, why is YouTube penalizing their creators and blaming their creators for the invalid traffic that is on YouTube? Now, YouTube doesn't realize that by giving out invalid traffic penalties to their creators, maybe they do realize this, but they're just not acknowledging it. By giving out invalid traffic penalties to their creators, they basically open the door wide open for sabotage. Bad actors are going to say, wait, we can get our competitors to drop their revenue to drop by 80% overnight just by sending invalid traffic to their channel. It's like they're just going to send an endless stream of invalid traffic to whatever channels they need to, so that they can basically say, okay, well, my competitors eventually are going to stop making videos, because if you're losing all of that revenue, it's not going to become worthwhile to put all this time and energy into these videos, because they're just not earning literally anything compared to what they used to earn. Now, number 3 is, why is YouTube not providing support on this issue? We literally can't appeal, and the invalid traffic notice disappears basically almost immediately when you reload the page. I have had the invalid traffic issue on my channel since July 3rd. It is currently September 15th, so it's been about 2.5 months that I've been dealing with this, literally with no support whatsoever. This message, ads have been limited on 1 or more of your videos due to invalid traffic, I have seen 3 total times, and there's literally no way to appeal this. So basically what YouTube is doing is they're saying, okay, we are going to stop running as many ads on your channel, and the ads that we are running on your channel are going to be, the RPM of those ads is going to go way, way down. So you're going to be earning way less from your channel. This makes absolutely no sense to me. So when I come back over to these questions, none of these things make any sense to me. They're blaming YouTube creators and they're penalizing us, and they could say they're not blaming us, but then why are they penalizing us? So clearly they are blaming the creator for the invalid traffic that is on YouTube. They are opening the door to sabotage, and they don't realize that they're doing that, and they have never even created a tool or a resource for how to prevent sabotage. And when you do reach out to support, what they do is they send you to this article here, invalid traffic on your videos. So they go over some examples of invalid traffic, how their systems analyze traffic to see if it's valid or invalid, etc., 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 which YouTube has always done. YouTube has always detected invalid traffic, but they've never made the decision to actually penalize their creators, which is what they're currently doing. Here are their tips to prevent invalid traffic. We have 3 total tips here, okay? Don't click ads on your videos. Don't do that. Never encourage anyone to click ads to help you earn more. I don't do that. So basically these 2 are pretty much the same exact tip, just you don't do it and don't tell anybody else to do it. The third one is, avoid partnering with untrusted partners for video creation and building your channel. Don't do that either. So basically they're saying, don't put the invalid traffic on your channel. Now, learn more tips on preventing invalid traffic in the AdSense Help Center. So let's open up some more helpful tips. Okay, so this monetization and ads, how you can prevent invalid traffic. Let's just do a quick search of this page. So we're just going to do a quick Control F search. Video, the word doesn't appear on this page. YouTube, the word doesn't appear on this page. So this is literally just for websites. It's Google AdSense policies for websites. It has nothing to do with videos, and there's nothing here about videos because we as creators literally cannot detect the invalid traffic on our channels, and we cannot prevent it. Now, if you own a WordPress website, there are plugins you can install that can make it much more strict for the traffic coming to your website, so you actually have control over traffic detection and being able to block people from visiting your website. You don't have these controls on YouTube. So basically, YouTube is telling us as creators, we need to make sure that we are only sending the best possible traffic to our channels and our videos, even though we have no control over suggested video traffic, direct traffic, external Google search traffic, all of these different traffic sources that can be manipulated by bad actors, we have no control over, and I can literally, it's impossible to block people from visiting my YouTube videos. It's impossible for me to prevent sabotage. Now that brings up the next thing. So YouTube Help must offer some type of support for tips for preventing sabotage, maybe some tools. Well, of course they do. They have this very, very helpful article, and Team YouTube on Twitter will send us this article all the time. Monetization and ads. What is sabotage and how to prevent it? This is the whole article. Okay, this is the whole article. Okay, so We understand a third party may generate invalid activity on your ads without your knowledge or permission. This can be done in two ways. So manually, automatically, because it doesn't reflect real interest, we're constantly improving our detection systems. I don't believe that based on the amount of creators that have been impacted in the middle of August. I truly believe there's basically two things that are possibly happening. One is that YouTube has made their invalid traffic threshold within their algorithm so sensitive, and they have lowered it to a point where so many channels that have a slight amount of invalid traffic on their channel are basically being put in this penalty box where we're losing 80% of our revenue. Number two is that YouTube literally has no idea where invalid traffic is coming from, no control over invalid traffic. So basically what they're saying is, we are going to protect our advertisers by destroying our creators. That is what YouTube is doing right now. For 2.5 months, my earnings are down 80%. And it's not just like YouTube's making more money. The YouTube Partner Program says that YouTube has to split revenue with us. So I'm making less money, YouTube's making less money. YouTube is deliberately doing this. And it's like, why would YouTube do this? Why are they serving less ad impressions on my channel unless they don't know how to properly detect the invalid traffic on their own platform? Now, ultimately, is the publisher's responsibility to make sure that the activity on their ads is valid. Now, again, I would like to point out here, what is sabotage and how to prevent it? This is, again, AdSense program policies, monetization and ads. This really is more about your website. There's nothing here about actual YouTube channels because they know there's no way for YouTube publishers, YouTube creators to actually have any control over who is looking at our videos and who is clicking on our ads and who is viewing our ads. If we go to tips for preventing invalid activity, it brings us right back to that article I showed you earlier, where it's all about AdSense. The word video and the word YouTube does not appear in this article. So this is not helpful. This is not helpful whatsoever. YouTube's favorite article to send us is this invalid traffic on our videos, which if you read through the whole entire article, which I've done 100 times at this point, all they basically do is blame the creator. They basically say, yeah, we have invalid traffic detection systems, but if you have invalid traffic, then it must be something that you're currently doing, which obviously I'm not. I created my YouTube channel in December of 2016, so I'm not going to send invalid traffic to my own channel. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, a few different things that I also want to go over here is if you think, okay, we'll come over here to our sabotage, you can also notify us of sabotage incidents. This brings us to the invalid clicks contact form. So I figure, okay, let me be proactive, fill out this form, anything that looks abnormal in my YouTube earnings or YouTube analytics, whatever it may be. So we come over here, you see we got my ads have been, these are some of the recent cases. So I have filled out this form no less than 10 times. So these are the current 5 cases they're working on. I've actually submitted, I think, 2 new cases since I took this picture. So I don't even expect anything from this at this point. So they must look at my cases and say, yep, there's still invalid traffic on this channel. Nope, we're not going to send any information to you. We're not going to tell you where it's coming from, how to fix it, any tool to help you, any resource that will help you. We're just going to tell you to keep filling out this form and hope for the best. Now, the reason why this is really frustrating is when it comes to YouTube creator support, what they're doing now is they have this open case for me. The last time they replied to my open case was August 14th. This one here is them looking for a survey, which of course I gave them a 0 out of 10. Not that it really matters and not that YouTube cares. So they've last replied to me. It is currently September 15th. They last replied to me on August 14th. So it's been over a month since I actually received a reply. I have replied to this thread multiple times since then, but when you reach out to YouTube creator support, they actually tell you, hey, you have an open case, so refer to that open case. This is my open case that they don't reply to. Now, every now and then you get an honest person at YouTube creator support who tells you something like this. I say, yes, and trust me, I don't want to do that either. Gladly install a tool, do anything in my power to avoid sabotage. I work in marketing and advertising. I know the importance of high quality traffic. 5+ years, I've never seen my revenue drop this low. I understand your situation, so I'm going to be more transparent with you. As a publisher or creator, there's nothing much you can do but to wait. Our engineers are the only people that are responsible on how to fix it. So what doesn't line up is this message here from YouTube creator support. The fact that when you look at all of their help articles and resources that are supposed to be helpful to us, you can see there's literally nothing that we can do. Basically, they're saying, here's how you can help prevent invalid traffic. Here's sabotage. Here's how to prevent it. If anybody can point to me where sabotage is on this page, or how to prevent sabotage, where that information is on this page, I would love to see it. Now, I go through these help articles. Was this helpful? And I said no like a million times at this point. It doesn't really change anything because YouTube really doesn't care that much about this issue. Now, I would say YouTube does care about this issue, but one of the things that I've seen is it's pnuk.com/IT, and they've been keeping a list of all of these different channels that have been impacted. And one of the most discouraging things about this is these are massive channels with tons of subscribers. So I'm on this list as well. If we come down here, Surfside PPC, and if we come down here, Surfside PPC. I've noticed through my research that Caffeinated Blogger got impacted in November of 2022, and his earnings have still not recovered from November of 2022. He's almost gone an entire year where YouTube has basically just said, we're going to take 80% of your revenue, and really there's nothing you can do about it. There's all sorts of different creators here, from teaching channels to gaming channels to tech channels to basically anything you could possibly think of. There's all sorts of different channels that have been impacted. So it's not something where it's like, okay, we have found out that these are the types of creators that are being impacted. And when I go through my traffic on my channel, I just don't see anything that says invalid traffic. So last two things as we finish off this video. If you're wondering whether or not you've been impacted by invalid traffic, what you want to do is, here is my data. So for this year, all the way up to July 2nd. Now, sadly enough, July 2nd is my birthday. So my birthday present from YouTube this year on July 3rd was basically just destroying my channel. But if we look right here, so throughout the entire course of the year, this is from before I got impacted. You can see ad impressions are always more than views. So a couple different things I want to point out. Ad impressions are always more than views. My RPM is right around $20 for the year. So basically for every 1,000 views I get on my channel, I earn about $20. So not a bad RPM, a pretty solid RPM, something I'm perfectly happy with and something that I can earn from. Now, if we look just going all of 2023 now, you're going to see a nice big drop in my RPM overnight. So right here, you could see my RPM went from $21 all the way down to $6.51 and stayed pretty low since then. Now, it's dropped pretty much 75 to 80% as far as an average. But what you'll see is even down here, it's dropped even further at times. And then what happens is it starts to come up a little bit and then it just goes right back down. So it's pretty low for the most part almost every single day. And it really doesn't matter how many views I'm getting, anything like that. All of it just completely drops. You could see just from this, my RPM for the year has dropped below $15 now. Now, a couple different things. My ad impressions compared to views, one of the things I want to show you is if we're looking at views by traffic source and then we look at ad impressions by traffic source, you'll see right around August 8th and 9th, they started just to completely drop my ad impressions. So the purple line is ad impressions. I always get more ad impressions than views because if somebody's watching a video, I have pre-roll ads, I have mid-roll ads. It's going to be more likely that there's going to be more ad impressions than views because there may be multiple views. There may be multiple ad impressions on one view. So recently my ad impressions are dropping. This is why some people think that YouTube has an issue right now where Wall Street Journal did an article talking about how YouTube is basically in hot water for running a bunch of video ads for their advertisers that went to basically nobody saw them and advertisers are getting charged for them. So that's kind of long story short. So there's people that think that this is YouTube's way of basically paying back advertisers, which would make sense except the ad impressions dropping. Now, if ad impressions stayed high, so you can see right here on August 4th, I got a ton of ad impressions. I don't know why, but if ad impressions stayed high like this and we were making a lot less, then that would make more sense to me, but it really doesn't really make sense to me, truthfully. So if you're seeing this on your channel and you see your RPM drop, you're seeing your ad impressions dropped, you probably have an invalid traffic penalty. And truthfully, YouTube has made it so we really can't do anything. So to finish off this video, just to go over my 3 questions one more time, I know YouTube won't answer these. I'm hoping they fix the invalid traffic on their own platform, but what can a YouTube creator do to prevent invalid traffic on our channels? Why is YouTube penalizing their creators? And why is YouTube not providing support? Just kind of seems like they're penalizing us and not giving us any answers for anything that we can do. And we're just supposed to sit around and wait and hope for the best. So this is probably my last video on invalid traffic that I'll create on my channel, unless I basically have to shut down my channel due to just the lack of overall earnings. But thank you for watching this video today, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe if you are interested in marketing and advertising content.